Good morning. It's time for a cruise vacation from sunny Florida. I'm on a 6-night cruise aboard Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas. Although the cruise starts from Miami, I flew into Fort Lauderdale because it was much cheaper. An Uber ride is only about $20 more than from Miami International, but the flight was $200 less. Traveling with carry-on only is the way to go. No lost bags, no waiting at the airport, and you can walk right by the porters at the cruise dock and take your bags to your room by yourself. Checking in was a breeze because everything is done ahead of time on the Royal Caribbean app. Explorer of the Seas is a Voyager class ship. I previously sailed on its sister ship, Navigator of the Seas. Although this is my 17th cruise, it's my first cruise after the pandemic and also my first time sailing solo. So I'm very curious about what the experience will be like. So here we are finally at our stateroom. Come on in. And you have a room overlooking the Royal Promenade. That's a bit of an upgrade. The room is decent size, but the TV is a bit on the small side. And the bathroom is compact but efficient. Speaking of the Royal Promenade, it was one of the great innovations when the Voyager class ships arrived 20 years ago. Before Voyager, ships only had vertical atriums, but in a brilliant stroke of engineering, Royal Caribbean split the hull in half and created a long interior street filled with shops, restaurants, and bars. This is the predecessor to the Central Park on today's Oasis class ships. Ah, peace and quiet at last. Another thing I love about the older ships is the promenade deck. On the newer, larger ships, the view is often blocked by lifeboats. Dining is an important part of every cruise, but I was wondering, how good will it be after the pandemic shutdown? So I decided to avoid the specialty restaurants and eat at the main dining room every night. I'm happy to report that with the exception of the first dinner when I made a bad choice, food in the main dining room was excellent. Cruise ships prefer to combine a solo passenger with a group at a larger table for efficiency, but Royal Caribbean accommodated my request for a single table. I still had great company from my fellow diners at the table next to me, but with a little separation. Good morning. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. Usually after a quick jog on the outdoor track, I will go down to the Windjammer Cafe for a casual meal rather than the sit-down dining room. I was so impressed that they had not just one, but 4 different types of smoked salmon. Lunch in the Windjammer Cafe was a little bit on the bland side, Not as many choices as I would have liked. The alternative was dining room, but that only opened on days at sea. But at least they had a lot of choice every day in desserts. Unfortunately, the Windjammer Cafe closed at 9 p.m., earlier than before. Your only other option if you want a late night snack was the Cafe Promenade. Interesting. I wouldn't mind having a snack. Sports activities are located on deck 13. There are the usual basketball courts, rock climbing wall, and mini golf course. Let's see if I can make a birdie one-handed. A flow rider was added during the last renovation. I gave it a try, and it was a blast. Next to the gym, there is a large hot tub, more like a warm tub, a sauna, and a steam room, free to use. Just outside the gym is the entrance to the Peekaboo Bridge. Not many people find their way here, which is too bad because it's really cool. Oh my god, no one's running the ship! The evening entertainment was usually singers or comedians. The best was probably the juggling comedian. My favorite, however, was the ice skating shows. This is another Royal Caribbean innovation that started on the Voyager class ships. Videography was not permitted, so you're just gonna have to see the show for yourself. Trust me, it was spectacular, especially considering that we are on a ship at sea and the rink was a fraction the size of a regular rink. And all too soon, the cruise was over. But I had lots of fun. There were plenty of activities for a single, and dining alone was not a problem. Another great vacation on Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos for each of the ports of call: Nassau Bahamas, Labadee Haiti, and Falmouth Jamaica.